What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Casper, back with another video. Just recently got to a movie that's been out for a long time, and it's considered a great trilogy type of movie, meaning it's already working on the fourth, fifth, maybe the sixth one. But I'm talking about the movie John Wick. So I barely got to it, and I'm gonna give you the rundown on what I thought of it on my first watch. So let's get it. So with this movie, John Wick, it's been on the watch list for a very, very long time, but just never got to it because other movies just been brought up in front of me instead of this one. But finally had time and was like, yo, let me cross something off from the watch list, and John Wick was literally like the first one there. So the movie John Wick came out in 2014. And it's rated R, and it's an hour and 41 minutes. Directed by Chad Stahelski. One thing I know about Chad Stahelski is that the John Wick movies were actually his first ever directing movies, meaning he was a stuntman before, and he was a stuntman for a very long time. This was basically his first movie that he came out with, directed role. Really dope to know that he was a stuntman, and this was basically his first movie that he wanted to come out with. In the John Wick movie, Keanu Reeves, who plays John Wick, the director Chad Stahelski and Keanu Reeves, they're, I would say, good homies, meaning they've worked on The Matrix together, and Stahelski was doing the stunts for the Matrix movie, and that's how they're close, and he brought him for the movie. The movie John Wick is starred by Keanu Reeves, Michael Nyqvist, Alfie Allen, and Willem Dafoe. Those are like the main top billed actors in the movie. John Wick is basically about an ex-hitman who comes out of retirement. The movie starts off with his wife being very sick, and I guess she had cancer, and she ends up passing away. With this dude, it was really emotional. Obviously when you lose someone, you get really emotional, so he was just really trying to keep his emotions tamed and under control. One of the last gifts his wife gives to him is a dog. It's a puppy. He didn't expect this gift to come in the mail, so he's chilling in the house and the doorbell rings, and it's just basically the mail people saying like, hey, could you sign off for this package you have? It's a puppy. There's a letter there as well, and it's a letter from his wife just letting him know that this gift is from me. He found her peace. I hope that he can find his peace on earth. So he gets really touched and really emotional after reading basically his wife's last words to him. Long story short, he receives the gifts, he loves the dog, it makes him really calm, it brings him, I guess, peace, like I just said. A group of mobsters end up meeting with the dude. John Wick goes to a gas station, and the mob people love this dude's car, John Wick's car, and on some like annoying shit, they come up to him and like, yo, I like your car, how much do you want it? John Wick says it's not for sale. John Wick plays it off really good and nice, and the mafia dudes, mobster dudes, try to track him down for that car. These mobsters do end up sneaking into his house, beating up John Wick, and it's very sad, end up killing his dog, take his keys to his car, and the next morning John Wick basically wakes up and sees his dog right there laying in a pool of blood, or just out cold, just dead, and it's sad. And that basically makes him come out of retirement, and now he's on a mission to find these mobster people that killed his dog and took his car. The one thing about the mobster people that they don't know is that John Wick, the dude they're stealing the car from and they killed the dog, he's a heavily known hitman for these mob people. The mob people who did that stuff to John Wick, they didn't know about John Wick because they're kind of younger cats. So that basically what happens. The younger cat's father is one of the head honcho mafia dons and like the boss. They find out that the son is the one that killed the dog and stole John Wick's car, and now the mobster bosses are like, bruh, what, like to the son, like, yo, why did you do it? Did you not know this is John Wick? Bosses are letting the son know, like, yo, John Wick is after you. I'm letting you know this guy would not stop for nothing, and you're pretty much dead. So that's basically what the movie's about. Watching this movie, I was just really excited. So when the movie started, seeing like who John Wick was as just a normal person, I was like, damn, this dude nowhere is gonna just show me that this dude is just a fucking straight killer assassin. I already know it's gonna come out of nowhere. But I would like to say, like, the movie really made you feel with the characters. Like when John Wick's wife passed away, you're like, oh damn, how she passed away, it had to be this. When he ended up getting the dog from his wife as a gift, I thought that was really adorable. The puppy was just so cute, adorable, And you know, while watching it, I was like, the dog's about to go through something. I already know. And there's a lot of other movies that get worse, meaning like it gets more graphic. But I mean, with the dog, I'm just like, oh man, it's gonna come through any minute. Really dope to follow along and just seeing like how John Wick is, meaning like people are really short sentenced with John Wick because they know who he is. And it was very interesting to know that these mobster bosses know who John Wick is, like with just a sentence, like, yo, that's John Wick. So I like how that character development and knowing who John Wick was really good. I would say that was pretty dope. Keanu Reeves in the movie, I would say he did a great job. Acting was really good, but I just like the fact that I'm getting on board with this character John Wick. I've heard a lot of things about John Wick. Yo, he's his own like superhero status, meaning like, you know, John Wick for John Wick, Tom Cruise for being in the Mission Impossible, for the Top Gun type stuff like that. And knowing Keanu Reeves for this role is actually, I'm glad that I'm getting put on. I haven't seen The Matrix. Obviously, I know what The Matrix is, but I was just shocked that Keanu Reeves was like one of the main actors in The Matrix too. So getting on board with Keanu Reeves, and in this movie I think his acting was really good. I could see why other people are saying like he was emotionless in this movie, meaning like he just went out there and killed people, but he did show emotion. You know, like when his dog died, he was crying his ass off. Like, bro, who wants to see their dog die? And obviously his wife passed away, so he's grieving. But I could see some moments in the movie where I guess he didn't show too much emotion. It was just like going straight for the kill. But he's an assassin, not supposed to show too much emotion. He was trying to live a normal life, and that's where the real emotions came in, because he was keeping them in for such a long time. Seeing Willem Dafoe in this movie was actually really cool to see. Willem Dafoe is becoming one of my favorite actors. Seeing him in movie roles, he always gives me the vibe he's gonna play like an evil character or like just a bad guy. But even when he plays good characters, you know, good people characters, I feel like he has that bad evil character in him a little bit. I don't know, I guess that's what Spider-Man did to me. Seeing him in this movie, he was really dope. I thought he was gonna be a bad guy in this movie, but he ends up switching the script and coming through. The character was so clean, talks, and just, he was kind of like an undercover dude playing both sides and stuff like that, so kind of tricked you in the movie, being like, damn, you know, Willem Dafoe's on the bad people's side, and then out of nowhere just, you know, with his sniper stuff. Loved his performance, I'll say it with that. Can't wait to see more performances from him, because this movie came out 2014 and I didn't even know he was in this movie. So dope, very dope performance by Willem Dafoe. Loved it. So one of the mafia bosses, his name is Vigo in the movie. His name is Michael Nyqvist. I would say he did a clean job. Acting was really good. There was nothing really too off about it. So the son of the head mafia guy, Vigo, his name is Alfie Allen, and he plays the character Losef. I'll say like he did a good job as well. It's that character you wanted to hate in the movie. When I first saw him pull up to the screen, I was like, oh, he already looked like a douchebag. When there's characters that act like they're straight bad and you're pissed off and you're like, oh, this character again, I would like to say that you're doing a good job in acting, because you really got to pull off that annoying and this character is just, oh, I hate that dude, man. He's a scumbag type of character. And Alfie Allen did a good job on just bringing that presence out, on just being a douchebag mafia dude. He thought he was the shit because his dad was one of the main bosses. So those are like the main actors that I kind of wanted to point out. But I would say the camera work in the movie was very, very good. So mad props to the director filming this movie. Shots in the movie were filmed very crispy. The action scenes captured a perfect angle and captured the whole aspect and perspective of that scene. There's many movies out there that do shaky cam trying to make more scenes look more emphasized with moving and fight scenes, but shaky cam is very, very, in my opinion, very annoying. You just want to see the fight scenes and stuff. This movie did very good, chose very unique shot angles, and the shot angles were very unique. It would be like, yo, that's a questionable angle, but the questionable angle ended up becoming like a great shot for the next scene or ending the scene. And I was like, yo, that shot was super dope. I'll say that about the director and the shots. Very good angles, shot very well, very good action movie, very intense, and it's a good watch to see if you haven't watched it like myself. I'm a little late to watch these John Wick movies. Literally just hear people talking about John Wick this, John Wick that. I'm finally on board with it. If you haven't seen this movie, this could be a good watch to watch with the family or watch with a friend. This is the type of movie that they're making like a 4th, 5th, and 6th movie. It's already like in production. Seeing the first one, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to see John Wick 2. So maybe after John Wick 2, I'll be like, damn, maybe they should have stopped at there. But I'm hearing nothing but good stuff about John Wick 2. I'm hearing that John Wick 2 edges out the first one by a little bit. And I'm just like, how? You know, the first one was really good. After seeing John Wick 1, my first watch, I would have to give it out of 10. I would have to give it a 9 out of 10. I sat through the whole movie just very focused and very in tune with the characters. The fight scenes in the movie, they hit. I can't believe I missed this movie, and I'm glad I'm on board with it. So that's my movie review for the movie John Wick. Shout out to you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace, y'all.